Back with an early edition of the Johnny and Bo with no Bo and TMAC and BP back again for some free plays in the NBA, NHL, and MLB. Bo is still on vacation. Look forward to seeing his return hopefully next week. How are you guys doing today?
Good, John. Good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I am doing good for the most part. Like we were talking before we got on here, the dogs have not been winning as much lately in the two sports that I cover. In the NBA first round here, Dallas did win last night as a dog. Unfortunately, I kind of saw that coming, but I didn't play it. I did play Denver, and they just. It's not that Denver's not playing good. Golden State's just playing on another level. Um, and then, the dogs have not been covering nor winning in the first round yet in the NBA playoffs, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen. It's not looking good for these dogs tonight either. Let's start in baseball, though, because we got a game coming on in 30 minutes or so, 38 minutes. Terry's here. How's it going, Terry? We're just getting started. We haven't been live since Friday, so we're just going to go straight to the picks. I think TMAC's going to play the game with the Giants and the Mets starting here in 38 minutes. It's game one of a doubleheader. What are you looking at, TMAC?
Yeah, guys. So for San Francisco, they got Alex Cobb on the road today versus the Mets. Tyler Miguel. Miguel's been pitching pretty good as the first start of the year, but we'll go back to last year's stats and we'll slowly transition to this year's stats within the next couple of weeks. But we'll start with Miguel at home. He had a 4.69 ERA at home last year. And San Francisco can hit righties at a 262 clip this year. And versus Miguel, they're hitting 366 with a couple home runs and doubles in the mix. So I expect San Fran to get 2 to 3 runs off Miguel today. I know the weather's cold, so that might be a little bit of a battle. But I would expect them to get at least 2 runs off Miguel today. The Mets bullpen hasn't been that great lately. It's a 4.06, so I would expect San Francisco to get 2 runs as well off the bullpen. And then we'll look over at Alex Cobb. He's on the road today. He has a 5.44 ERA on the road, so he's not very trustworthy on the road. And then the Mets versus right-handed pitching, they're batting 259, so that's pretty impressive. We all know that the Mets are playing well. The Mets versus Cobb, though, they're only batting 238. So they're not really batting as well versus Cobb as they have been. So I'm going to say they might get 2 runs off Cobb today because he is a pretty piss-poor pitcher on the road. San Fran's bullpen, they're really good. They have a 2.16 ERA. So I would expect maybe the Mets to get 1 run off them. So the play with this is going to be San Francisco's team total over 1.5 in the first 5 innings, just because they can hit Miguel. I also took San Fran on the money line as a 0.5 bet, just because they have the bullpen in case Alex Cobb does get into trouble. They can come in and simmer the Mets down a bit. It could be a 3-4 game. So I hope those hit. I hope you guys like it.
All right. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'll make some points on this game. San Francisco has won 5 in a row, including sweeping the Indians or the Guardians. I'm going to mess that up a lot this year. But including sweeping them 5 times on the road, San Francisco travels in to play the Mets today in a doubleheader. They will play again 9 full innings, both games. The one thing that stands out to me is Miguel has almost become the ace for the Mets. He's won both of his starts this year, giving up only 6 hits, no runs at all, and has 11 strikeouts in just 10 innings. So he is kind of locked in at the beginning of the season here. And the one thing with your Cobb matchup against the Mets, Cobb's been mostly an American League pitcher up until this year, so you probably didn't have a big sample size of Cobb was on the Rays, and then he was on the Angels, and now he's moved into the National League this year. So the wind is blowing out 20 miles an hour, so that could definitely help on those totals. and grabbing San Francisco as a dog that's won 5 in a row, riding them while it's hot. Riding them while it's hot is always a good play. There you go. So TMAC likes them over 1.5 in the first 5 and took a chance on a little bit of a plus money line. I like it. You playing that game at all, BP?
Not on that one. I'm on the next one, though.
All right. Go ahead with the next one.
I'm going to take the White Sox on the money line, plus 125 against the Guardians. Hate that name, but it is what it is. I think the White Sox bats can lead them to victory today. They've done it in the past. The pitcher, no, not the best pitcher on the mound for them, but I think that the bats can do it. That's pretty much where I'm at on that. The White Sox have a better record of 6-3. Guardians 4-5. I'm still having a hard time with that myself. Terry says he went 2-0 in baseball yesterday, so congratulations on that.
All right. Yep, Terry's record is over there in the comments. I'm going to give my play because that is in the same game. I have got Cleveland. I took Cleveland yesterday. I did 3 free plays because we did not do a show, so I put 3 out, split. But I gave 2 plus money picks, and one of them hit, so we really came ahead on a split. One of the plays was to take in the Guardians and Shane Bieber on the hill against Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel pitched really good his last time out, pitched beyond his expectations. And I think that the Guardians can get this game against them today. The White Sox, they're hitting the ball, but I think Shane Bieber is the better pitcher. So the wind's blowing in at 20 miles an hour, and this is 42 degrees. This is only one game today. They are not playing a doubleheader. They're making that up in June, I saw. So there was another game. Oh, the Arizona-Washington will also play a doubleheader. It is in the bottom of the 5th right now, 1-0 Diamondbacks. So that's that on the earlier games. We're not going to go over every game today, guys. We're going to just stick to picks. TMAC and I have been going over every game, but anything else in baseball, BP?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays about the same kind of money line there, plus 122, plus 125. Depends on where you go against the Boston Red Sox. Similar situation. I think that they can hit the ball pretty well, and I think that that'll carry them to victory as well. Boston has dropped. Was it Boston? No, it was the Guardians who dropped their last 3. Boston's okay. They both won 2 out of their last 3, Boston and Toronto, but I think Toronto's overall the better team.
All right. Yeah, Boston lost yesterday on Patriots Day. They did not look very good. I lean towards Toronto as well. I think it's a great dog play. I think it's worth a shot. The only thing that scares or worries me is Kukichi's on the mound today, and he's tough to bet on. But I like the play. I think both your plays are good plays. All you have to do is win one, and you've still made money. You can go 1-1 with two plus money picks and make money. Is anything else in baseball today, BP, or just the 2 plays?
Just the 2 for me.
All right. So hopefully you can catch them both, or at least catch one out of the 2, and turn a little profit before NBA and NHL comes on. TMAC, I got 2 plays in the MLB. How many you got? You got a couple plays?
I got a couple more left. I go back to that Cleveland game. I'm on Cleveland in the first 5 innings, minus half a run. That's plus 107. I really don't like Dallas. I really don't like Dallas Keuchel. Last year on the road, he was just terrible. And Cleveland last year, they put up 5 runs against him, 4 runs against him, and 3 runs against him. So Cleveland and Chicago White Sox bullpen's not bad. So I'm just going to take Cleveland in the first 5.
All right, there you go. So moving on, I got Cleveland full game. He's got Cleveland first 5, and BP is on the White Sox in the full game. So a little bit of everything going on in that game. No one's touching that low total of 7.5. And a cold, breezy day. I'll come in next with the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewbreaker's on the hill for the Pirates today. He has been terrible this season. 9.82 ERA. And on the hill for Milwaukee will be Corbin Burns, I do believe. If I am right, I believe Corbin Burns is on the hill. Yes, I don't know why I'm questioning myself. Last time out, he pitched 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, and no runs against the Cubs, getting back to his form. Is that right? Maybe it's right. Shit, that's what I wrote. Anyway, the pick's going to be Milwaukee minus 1.5 for minus 125. Milwaukee's finally starting to get their bats warmed up. They put up some runs against the Pirates, but more than anything, this is a play against Brubaker. Has just been horrible. So that is my play, and that is take the Milwaukee Brewers, lay the 1.5, and let's see how that goes. You got any action in that game?
I do like your play a lot. I do like Milwaukee today, especially against Brubaker. They can hit 305 versus Brubakers. But the only problem for me was there just wasn't much value anywhere. I know you took the 1.5. The home team doesn't get their last at bat, but I still think they can win by 2 easily. But I just wasn't willing to lay the money down. I probably should have, but I just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite thing to lay the 1.5. I'll bring up a quick note that I had heard and saw earlier. Dodgers have won 6 in a row, and including in those 6, they have covered the run line in all 6 of those games. And then Milwaukee won 6-1 yesterday. Like I said, I don't get in a big habit of it. I think this is a fade against Brubaker, and the only way to find value on this game is by laying the 1.5. Because they're minus 250, the Brewers are, and I can't put up that. Not that it wouldn't win. It's too much risk for such little reward. Joseph's here. How's it going? The wind in New York is ridiculous today, so keep that in mind in the Mets game. I'm sure it's cold in all these places, and windy, Cleveland, Detroit, and New York. So keep that in mind. Baseball players don't like cold or windy. So I lean a lot of unders in those cities, but I'm not willing to play them because they're so low. They're all down to like 7 runs. So next, I've got one more. I'm going back with the Cubbies tonight. Cubs got it done last night as a dog, and I'm going back with them today. On the hill will be Justin Steele. So far, he's pitched 9 innings in 2 games, 9 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, and only 3 walks. On the other side of the hill will be for Tampa, Matt Wisler. Matt Wisler is a bullpen guy. He is not a starting pitcher. This is what the Rays do all the time. They do bullpen games where one guy will come in, pitch 2 or 3 innings, maybe probably 2. It's one of them games where every inning you're going to get a new pitcher. They do that to preserve their starting rotation. Kevin Cash has been known to do this since he's been in Tampa, and this is what they're going with today. So Matt Wisler will be on the hill. He's pitched 5 innings so far this year. 5 games, I should say, for a total of about 6.5 innings. So, like I said, this is a bullpen game. Cubs have been playing pretty good, especially at home. I'm going to take Justin Steele and the Cubs here with some value, plus 106. Cubs got it done last night. I expect them to get it done today. So those are my 3 plays, and I do have one more that I made the video on in case anybody see that. We'll do that last. What else you got in MLB TMAC tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple more left, guys. We'll go back to that Toronto Blue Jays game. So I took the Toronto Blue Jays first 5 over 5 runs. I don't trust Kiki on the road. Evolati's pretty good, but Toronto can hit him pretty hard.
Everybody's been hitting Evaldi this year so far.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yes, sir.
They both have pretty decent bullpens, so I would expect like the bullpens to kind of tame down the hitting near the end of the innings. But I do like the first 5 over 5 runs. That's at minus 112.
Yeah, the Boston's bullpen wasn't so good yesterday, giving up 3 worthless runs, pushing that game over. So, yeah, Evaldi's hung in there. I thought he had got shelled worse than he has. 10 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 earned runs. Eovaldi is the better pitcher out of these two. I will say that.
He does pitch better at home, but Toronto faced him last year and they put up 7 runs and 0 runs. So I would expect them to get 2 to 3 off him pretty easily. And they're hitting they're hitting right now at 262 clip versus righties. So I like it a lot.
Yep, Toronto had a travel day yesterday. They didn't play. Wind's blowing out 11 miles an hour out to center, so that could help push the ball out of the park. I expect Boston to get their share of runs against Kukichi himself. So over is the play in the first 5. That's it on that game, TMAC. Just the first 5, not the full game.
Yeah, I didn't take the full game.
Yeah, it's set at 9.5. If I was gonna play it, I'd play the over. I'll tell you that. But we're gonna stick with TMAC's first 5 and go with that. What else, TMAC?
Okay, so I think we got I got a couple more plays, guys. St. Louis versus Miami. We got Wainwright on the road versus Jesus Luzardo. He's a natural fade, guys. We fucking faded him all last year and made a lot of money. He does pitch better at home, so it's a little bit worrisome, but it's still a 5.85 ERA. St. Louis hasn't seen him very much. They did get 2 runs off from the one game, but there's not a lot of data. But, Jesus isn't going to come in and fucking mow these guys down. He's got a 5.85 ERA last year. I know he's been pitching a little better this year, but I don't trust the guy at all. And Wainwright, he's a little bit less trustworthy on the road with a 3.58 ERA. Miami, surprisingly, is hitting right now versus righties. They're hitting 258. And versus Wainwright, they're actually hitting 320. Only putting up 2 runs, though, in the one game. So I'm going to say Miami's good for the 1 to 2 runs off Wainwright. And St. Louis is probably good for their 2 runs off Luzardo. So I took the first 5 over 4 runs at minus 109. And I also took St. Louis on the money line as a 0.5 unit bet.
All right. So it's pretty much a pick 'em, I believe, right?
It's exactly a pick 'em. Yeah, minus 108 aside. I like both these teams a lot. I'm from St. Louis. I'm a natural Cardinal fan, but I'm really liking what the Marlins have been doing lately. I found this one hard to bet on, but if I had to lean on it, I would go with you because Wainwright's on the mound. He's the better pitcher, in my opinion.
That's right.
Yeah,
I got the money line at minus 111, so it's probably I probably could have got a better number if I waited, but
could have waited. I'm seeing both at minus 108. Mirror.
Yep.
Now Luzardo's only pitched 1 game this year, and Anaheim against the Angels or Los Angeles. They're in Anaheim. I don't care what you call them. Anyway, 12 strikeouts, just 2 hits, and strong 5 innings. So, he's fading his fine start. Wind's blowing out 17 miles an hour. It looks like it could be raining like it always does in Miami, but they can close the roof, so no worries about them canceling that game. So weather may not be a factor. If it's raining, they'll close the roof. Luzardo pitches good game his first time out. Miami is playing good since they've came back home, taking 2 out of 3 against Philly. I would lean Cardinals too, but it's almost a coin toss game. You got to believe Cardinals have the better bats here, but Miami's scrappy, and scrappy wins. So
I think the
tough game there.
I think the first 5 over 4 makes more sense, just because I know Luzardo was good his last game, but I faded him a lot last year, and I'm just gonna stick with that. And I just do not trust the guy at all. And like BP said, Wainwright on the other side, you can put a little bit of faith in him. So,
yep.
But Miami is hitting, so they should get 1 to 2 runs off them.
All right, so that's over 4, right? Over 4 first 5.
Yeah, minus 109. I got it at, and I think I have 1 more play, 2 more. The Yankee game. So what do we have with the Yankee game? So I'm taking the under. It dropped actually to 7.5. I see. So I'm not going to give it. I took the 8.5. I'm not going to give that out for you guys, but if I were to readjust and bet again, I would look at Detroit's team total under. Cole pitches. I don't traditionally like Cole, but I like him today. He has a 3.32 ERA on the road, and Detroit is hitting 175 versus Cole. And the Yankees have a great bullpen at 2.08, so I kind of like Detroit's team total under as well.
Detroit's in
20
trouble.
mile an hour. Good.
Played with injuries. Javi Baez is out. I mean, a lot of their biggest players are not going to play right now for a minute. So I can see where you take their under.
Yeah.
Both pitchers are pitching with the 5-point-something ERA. Cole's 5.59. Alexander's 5.06. Alexander's a left-handed pitcher. Yankees usually can tag on a left-handed pitcher. Yankees are a heavy 215 favorite. Total set at 7.5. Winds blowing out 20 miles an hour out to center. Yeah, something I'm not interested in. So your play officially was
I don't know how to say this, but I'm on the 8.5 under. I'm not gonna. If you guys like the Detroit team total under, I would endorse that as well. But I'm not going to give that out as an official pick. I guess I probably should have passed on this game, but if anyone was interested in that, it made sense to me.
well, and you can always buy it up. I mean, buying a half a run in baseball is a little more expensive than buying a half a basket in basketball, half a point, I should say, in basketball. Um, but you could always get it at under 8 minus 130.
Yeah,
If it's something you liked. Um,
it just
I'd
threw
be
me
willing
off
to say,
there.
I'd be willing to say it's going to go over myself, but I think the Yankees can put up 8 runs themselves against this lefty they got on the hill today. But we'll see. Yankees haven't been hitting for shit either. I'm just waiting for them to break out. But today might not be the day. It is cold and it is windy, 44 and cold. And baseball
Yeah.
players don't like
Yeah,
cold.
that Alexander guy, he's not the greatest pitcher, that's for sure.
No. I'll give my play, and then if you have any more, I made the video. Braves and Dodgers tonight. Like I said, I think I said this earlier. Braves have won. Dodgers have won 6 in a row, including covering the minus 1.5 run line. Dodgers are hot. Braves are not. Braves are 5-7. Dodgers are 8-2. After splitting that series, actually losing that series against the Reds opening week. Dodgers are laying 142 and might have went higher. Total set at 7.5 runs. The Braves have Max Fried on the hill, and Fried has not looked good. 2 games, 11 innings pitched. 0-2 record, 5.73 ERA, 9 innings pitched total in those 2 games. 1 walk, giving up 7 earned runs. On the other side will be Walker Buehler. 2 games so far this year, 10 innings pitched, 1-0 record, 3.38 ERA, 9 strikeouts, but giving up 5 walks. The Dodgers as a team are pitching .93 on the whip. Bullpen is getting it done. Dodgers have won 7 in a row, covering 6 run lines. Dodgers won 7-4 yesterday. The Braves are not hitting the ball, but when they are hitting, they're hitting home runs. They've got 15 home runs so far this year, but they're only batting .233 average. We're going to lay the wood on the Dodgers today. It's chalky. It's minus 142, but we're getting a way better pitcher against a Matt Fried that has not played good, pitched good, and we're going to lay the chalk on this one, minus 142 on the Dodgers. So if you're interested in that, that's good. If you don't like laying that much chalk, then throw it on the run line. But the streak's going to have to eventually end. I don't want to lay the run line. I like 142 better than just a plus 105 or 108 on the run line. So
use it as a parlay, maybe.
Yeah, you can parlay, but I mean, I don't think. I mean, 142. It might be 150 now. I don't know what it's moved. If it's moved, you can parlay with the Astros. Framber Valdez is on the hill. He's pretty lights out. It's 148 now.
That's my next pick.
Framber Valdez.
Mr. Valdez.
All right,
yes,
all right.
Sir. I didn't get to the last 4 games. I didn't have time, so this is my last pick in Houston. We're taking Houston on the run line. I don't like said I try not to do that as much either with teams, but I feel like they have an edge here today. So Valdez at home, he has a 3.45 ERA. It's a little bit worse than on the road. And LA versus lefties, they're only hitting 232, but they can hit Valdez at a 308. They put up 0 runs and 4 runs against him last year, so I'm expecting them to get 1 or 2 runs of Valdez. And then Houston's bullpen's at 3.11. So I would expect LA to maybe get 1 to 2 runs off them as well, totaling 3 to 4 runs. And then with what's his name? Patrick Sandoval? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so when he's on the road, he's actually a little bit better. Not much better. He has a 3.26 ERA on the road versus a 3.91 at home. Houston's not batting versus lefties right now. They're hitting 181, but they can hit Sandoval at 341. So that's a huge number at 341. They faced him twice last year. He gave up 4 runs and 4 runs. So I'm gonna say Houston is able to get their 3 runs off Sandoval today. And LA's bullpen's pretty shitty. They're a 4.88 ERA. So I would expect Houston to get 2 to 3 runs off their bullpen as well. So I'm kind of putting the game at a 6-4 for Houston. I expect them to cover the 1.5. That's at plus 135. I thought I'd take a shot on it.
All right. Sounds good. Laying the 1.5 with the Astros over the Angels. Pretty good, it sounds to me. Just got to keep an eye, see if Mike Trout. He didn't play last night. I'm not sure why he's out. So, with or without him, I think still Houston can get it done. They've got the much stronger pitcher. All right. Let's just move into NHL. Either one of you guys doing NHL tonight?
Yeah.
No?
Negative.
Yes. All right, let's do it.
All right, I'm taking 2 tonight. I'm taking puck lines on both of them. Tonight I'm going to take the Red Wings plus 1.5 on the puck line. I think they're going to keep it close against the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa. Games on at 7. They have a tendency to play these really good teams close and change their gear and really compete against teams like Carolina and Tampa Bay. They beat Carolina on Friday 3-0. I'm not going to go on a limb this time and say they're going to win, but I think they can keep it within a goal. Plus 1.5 for the Red Wings against the Lightning tonight. The second pick is going to be the opposite. It's going to be the Vancouver Canucks minus 1.5 on the puck line against the Ottawa Senators. Both teams are on a back-to-back, but the Canucks really, really need this. They're in the hunt for the wild card in the Western Conference with only about 6 games to go. And right now, you got the Predators with 91 points, Stars 91 points, Golden Knights 87, Canucks 86. 2 of these teams will get in the playoffs. 2 of them will be out. The Canucks to win tonight will get them 2 points towards that goal. So I think that they're going to cover 1.5 and beat them convincingly. In Ottawa, well, in Vancouver, rather.
All right, so that's 2 teams, both of them laying the puck and a half?
No, Detroit's plus 1.5. Vancouver's minus 1.5.
Oh, Detroit's getting a 1.5 with Columbus.
Against Tampa Bay.
Oh.
Vancouver's laying 1.5 against Ottawa.
Oh. Okay, what's the plus 1.5 pay?
Detroit, it's plus 160.
You're getting plus 160 and a goal and a half?
Yep.
That's fuck. Wow.
All right.
Best
So there
luck
you
on
go.
that one. Holy.
All right.
You're getting about even money. You're getting about even money on that Vancouver puck line. So
I like your Vancouver breakdown there. If they're in dire need of winning versus Ottawa.
They got a chance, Matt. They can still make the playoffs, but they got to win almost all their games down the stretch. So,
and I'm assuming Ottawa is just out of the hunt completely.
Ottawa's completely out. Yeah, the East is already locked up. It's all about the West now.
How many more games till playoffs? Roughly
6, about 6 games. And if you win, it's 2 points. If you lose in overtime, it's 1.
Yeah, but 6 more games for each team, roughly 5, 6 in that range.
Yeah, so they can get up to 12 points total.
About another week.
Yeah.
About another week of hockey, and then we get into playoffs.
Makes sense.
All right. Sounds good. USFL kicked off this weekend. I looked at it. You know, I love the idea of spring football, but it's going to be tough to pull people away from NBA and NHL playoffs. So,
I can't say
you know,
that
I liked it. I liked what I saw. Go ahead.
I said I can't say that I'll be watching it.
I watched some, and I liked what I saw. It's just hard when you've got games in the NBA now that matter, and also when the hockey starts, when the NHL playoffs start, when those games matter, it's going to be hard to get people to pull off of NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs to watch football. I could give up some baseball to watch some football in the spring, but these NBA playoffs, that's what we're here for. NHL playoffs, that's what you're there for. So we'll see how the USFL does. There's no other way that they could really done it. They couldn't start in March. You got too much March Madness, and you can't go in June and July. It's just too damn hot unless you moved into an indoor stadium, and then you would be basically arena football, which we already have.
I'm rooting for them, man. I hope they can finish the season. I looked like there was almost nobody in the stands over the weekend, but hoping it picks up for them.
Well, it's in or wherever the hell, Birmingham, Alabama. And it's hard to build a fan base when your city can't rally behind a team that's they're in Alabama. So I get it. It's for TV. I hope it works. I hope it lasts too. Like I said, I liked it. It was good football. It was no different than football Tuesday night in the MAC. It was good football. It's not NFL football. It's not Big Ten football, but it was football.
Right.
So
something.
Anyway, NBA. Terry's already posting his picks, so we'll see how he aligns with ours. Let's shoot these out. Terry's have the Hawks plus 7.5, the T-Wolves plus 7, and the Pelicans with 9.5. So it looks like
all dogs.
All dogs. It must have aligned with his. He has a strict system he uses, so it must have aligned, or he just felt like taking all dogs. Sounds good to me, Terry. I'm not playing sides tonight. Shit. I mean, the Hawks could get their ass kicked like last time, or they could cover that. T-Wolves.
I think the Hawks could potentially even win tonight. I don't know. I have a feeling on that one.
I
stayed away from it.
They got too many injuries, and Miami's too locked in.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
The Heat have won 4 out of the 5 matchups versus Atlanta this year.
Let's start off what you did play. What'd you play, team? Oh, we got Chip Miller here. He says T-Wolves win. Okay.
I didn't play much in the NBA today. I just went with a 2-team parlay, or 2-play parlay, I guess you could say. I took the Heat money line with the under 219 to be plus 126. It was just a 0.5 unit bet. I didn't like the games tonight, so I just took them on the money line in the under 219. The unders have hit 3 out of 5 games versus Atlanta. Sorry, they're 2 slow-paced teams. I know Atlanta can shoot the 3-ball well, but Miami's really good on the perimeter defense, so I think they can keep this game under 219.
Yeah, this first round has not really been all that good. We really didn't need a play-in. The 8 seeds are not going to do anything. The 7th seed, Minnesota, would have been 7 anyway. They shouldn't have had to win to be the 7th seed. They played good. Let's see how they do tonight. Chip Miller thinks they're going to win, and they could. They're playing good. I'll give my play. I only got one play, and it's going out on a limb here too. Going under in that game, going under 240. I know Minnesota does play no defense at all, but if they expect to beat Memphis again, I think they're going to need to play some defense tonight. I think Memphis is going to have to play some stronger defense. The trend was going under in the NBA playoffs, and now it's kind of shifted a little, but one thing I know is the favorites are winning and covering, so these first round games have not really lived up to their expectation. Dallas did pull off a win last night. That was nice. Hopefully Luka can come back, and that may be the only interesting series, to be honest with you. Let's see what Brooklyn and Boston brings. I think they play tomorrow, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it's not tonight.
Tomorrow night.
No, definitely not tonight. No, Terry named
that was a 1-point game, so series could be interesting as well. I took Dallas live last night at like plus 250 or something like that. In the third quarter, they were down a few points, and they really rallied. Brunson had a career game. I mean, 40-something points, just amazing. I'm rooting for him. I love the Mavericks. I can't wait to see Luka back, and I think they can make a run here. So hopefully that all comes to fruition. The Nuggets have let me down twice, so I'm leery about taking them again on the money line as badly as they're getting beat up by Golden State. But I didn't love the spreads tonight at all. I took a 2-line parlay myself. The Grizzlies money line, which is minus 270, teamed it up with the Suns, just line minus 4.5 for a minus 108. That's my only play in the NBA.
So that was Grizzlies money line and brought the Suns down to 4.5 points. Parlaying that for a minus 108. So everybody besides Terry is kind of in line with the favorites. Will probably win. This won't be an exciting night of basketball. Somebody said the Hawks might win. Who said that?
Me.
Who's me?
BP.
The video's lagging, so your lips didn't match up with the sound. Your video's lagging just a little. So,
that would be an upset.
I mean, that's why they play the games. It's not beyond the realm of possibility, and that's probably why you didn't take Miami on your money line parlay, because you think there is a possibility of the Hawks winning.
I'd be more inclined. Sorry, John.
No, I didn't.
So I'd be more inclined to take Atlanta at home, and that's probably the only place I'd be taking Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, if they're going to grab a game, it will be in Atlanta. I'm not even sure they're going to grab a game. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the second round will be a lot more interesting. Is this how the NHL looks like in the first round, VP, or is it usually pretty
Not always.
interesting?
Sometimes you get 7-game series in the first round. They catch you a little bit by surprise, but sometimes they don't. If you get a 4 and 5 matchup, they can definitely go 7, 6, 7 and be really competitive. And once in a while, you get an 8 seed to go all the way, like the LA Kings did. What was that in? I don't remember, 2008 or something like that. 2012 maybe. They were an 8 seed.
I'm a big fan of. There's just too many teams in the NBA playoffs right now. I don't think we need more than half of the league in the playoffs, up to 20 with the play-in games, even 16 right now. I just think that's too many.
It is.
NHL 16 with no play-in. So
yeah.
The way I look at that too is having that many teams in the playoffs. You don't really get a fair chance to see what they're made of during the regular season because some of them just lollygag around and know they're going to make the playoffs. And then when the playoffs come, they're a completely different team. So it's kind of hard to cap it that way.
They don't care at the end of the season. Load management, and then you see that in the NBA at the end of the regular season, the last couple of weeks are really hard because you got teams that just don't care.
Yeah. It is tough. The NBA is getting tricky.
I will say that it's a lot different in hockey. I feel like those guys go out play hard from minute 1 to minute 59, and they play hard from game 1 to game 82. I just think it's just a different mentality together.
Yep, I have to agree there, and I don't even follow hockey. Just the NBA's become quite entitled. So
that's kind of why I like the NCAA more than the NBA. There's more heart involved. It's just a lot better basketball, I find.
Yep, basketball and football. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that should do it. There we go. We gave quite a few plays, and baseball. BP gave a couple puck lines in the NHL. We all kind of dabbled in the NBA, not really loving anything. My under 240, I'm not in love with it. It's 4-star play. I think it could cash though, but they don't play defense. They might score 270. Last time I took Minnesota under, they scored 278 or some shit. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, that should do it. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
That was a great show. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks. We'll see y'all tomorrow.